So unless you've been living underneath a rock, you know that there is something big going on with these guys. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason, aka Javo, of the Randall About Wrestling podcast, right here to bring you my thoughts on this whole New Japan Pro Wrestling invasion of the WWE. It's got a lot of people talking, and some people are spreading fake rumors around. Nothing's been absolutely positively confirmed, with the exception of Nakamura. As far as I can tell, the WWE has been teasing the hell out of this ever since the news broke from different news sources, and this all happened right around the time of Wrestle Kingdom 10. Talked about AJ Styles and Nakamura and others. Well, the others are Doc Gallows, or formerly Luke Gallows of the WWE, and Carl Anderson. They themselves call them, they call themselves the Bullet Club. Whereas, the Young Bucks call themselves the Young Bucks, but they're part of the Bullet Club. Well, the news broke, but then also the events surrounding the day after Wrestle Kingdom 10, when AJ Styles got booted from the Bullet Club and basically, in a matter of speaking, said bye to the Japanese fans. He did a Japanese bow, and I believe that is his farewell. Now Nakamura is still the New Japan Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Champion, which is probably going to be taken from him by Kenny Omega if things go right for Kenny Omega. I think it was some newspaper in Japan actually broke the news about Nakamura right after all this stuff started happening. Now, there's a couple different ways they could do this. And there's a couple issues with them coming to the WWE that people are concerned with. These guys are established. Nakamura is definitely one of the top wrestlers in the world right now, honestly. Now, I've heard different opinions about him recently, which makes me wonder, and I just have to do the research for myself. Guys that I've had conversations with or have listened to have said that he's toned down his wrestling style over the course of the last couple of years, that he used to be a lot more fierce or a better wrestler a few years ago that he's, what was the word used? I believe they called him lazy, but I don't think they really wanted to call him lazy, but for lack of better words, they called him lazy. I'm not calling him lazy. I'm actually really new to the whole, learning who Nakamura is. I've watched him throughout some matches over the course of this last year. Wrestle Kingdom 9 was my first introduction to him. And them bringing him in is going to be interesting. With so many guys injured right now. And the latest now, John Cena. That's a huge blow to the WWE roster. So you got to wonder how they're going to bring these guys in. Most guys that are brought in through NXT, and then months later they're brought up to the main roster. Well, I've got a feeling, and a lot of other people have a feeling, that they're going to get slingshot to the main roster quickly and completely bypass NXT, which is fine. They're all established guys. They're good wrestlers. There's no question about that. Their in-ring ability is great. Even Gallows, over the course of the last several years, since he's been out of the WWE, has gotten a lot better. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a several-time New Japan Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champion. Which, I have to say, I had the honor of meeting them. And even got to hold the IWGP Tag Team belt. It was too sweet. But anyways. I have no doubt that this is going to be how they're going to introduce Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor, to the main roster. And honestly, I think it's, how do I say this? I think it's a safe way to do it. If you bring in, well, it's also interesting because Balor and Styles were never in the Bullet Club together. After Finn Balor came to the WWE, they needed a new, Styles over and over again says he wasn't a leader, but I think a lot of people looked at him as a leader. Or the head of the Bullet Club, even though he said he wasn't. So it's going to be really interesting to see these two together. And honestly, I think it'll work. And I really don't know how they're going to do it. A lot of people say, oh, it's cake. They're going to do it at the Royal Rumble. Well, okay. Are you going to bring all four guys in for the Royal Rumble? That wouldn't make a lot of sense. Well, it wouldn't. There's also stuff going around that Triple H is going to win the Royal Rumble. If that is how they're going to do this, then I can see them. This is how I would do it. If you're going to have it, okay, as much as you love or hate Triple H or whatever, or say it's great or say it's stupid, if Triple H is going to win it, and you're going to bring in the Bullet Club or Balor Club, then Triple H will be, bringing these guys one by one. Obviously you have one entrant at a time. Bring in Finn Balor. Whoa, it's Finn Balor. Then bring in Gallows. And then bring in Anderson. And then last but certainly not least, Styles. And have them all, in the ring with whoever. Whoever else is all in the ring. Whether it be Ambrose or the Dudleys or Steen or, whoever is all in the ring. Big Show, Ryback. These are all confirmed guys that are going to be in there. And have them all going at it, and one by one, they all start eliminating everyone. Then all of a sudden, Reigns somehow outlasts everyone except for, the Bullet Club. And then Triple H is like the last entrant. And they basically clear a path for Triple H and eliminate Reigns, and then they all just leave, over the rope, and, kind of like, I hate to use this term. I shouldn't even say this, because it's going to piss off people, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's going to have that effect like the finger poke of doom. Like everybody just lets him win, you know what I mean? But this would have a much better reaction. Well, people are going to be pissed off that Triple H won, but if you really want to give him the heel heat, then this is a great way to do it. Have the Bullet Club come down, help eliminate everyone, let Triple H win, and then somehow set up Reigns versus Triple H down the road. Set up a new contendership between now and, there's another pay-per-view in there. Was it Fastlane? I think so. I think that's what it is, Fastlane. So that's one way you could do it. As far as Nakamura, he's known as the king of strong style, and obviously, as good as he is, I think they'd want to tame him down a little bit. Just you don't want him hurting anyone. Not that he's not safe, but he works stiff. He's one of the stiffest workers that I know. Just watch his last match with AJ Styles. It's a great match. Certainly a contender for a match of the year in my book. How would they, okay, if they bring in the Bullet Club that way, how are they going to bring in Nakamura? Some people say, they would just bring in Nakamura with the Bullet Club. I don't see that. I don't see that. One opinion, which I like a lot, that was brought up, is you bring in Nakamura with Lesnar and Heyman. You make him a Heyman guy. Or just bring in the whole Bullet Club with, I was going to say, because there are good talkers in the Bullet Club. They don't really need Heyman. Anderson's great, and I've learned that recently. Gallows is okay. Styles is fine, but Nakamura, I don't know how good his English is. I'm guessing it's not as good as Hitami's, and I know Hitami's been working on his down in NXT. He's been working with Oh gosh, I can't think of the guy's name. Another Japanese guy. Cannot think of it. Anyways, I would reintroduce Itami, Kenta, whatever, Hideo Itami, with Nakamura, and have those guys form like a stable with Asuka, the women's wrestler, and just completely take over NXT for like a good chunk of the year, I'd say. I would pick Hideo Itami to take the championship from Finn, because if they're going to bring in the Bullet Club and just streamline them to the main roster, obviously Finn's going to have to drop the title sometime soon. Now, I haven't watched NXT in a couple weeks. I don't know what's going on after London. The only thing I've heard is that there's going to be some kind of contendership between Samoa Joe, and Sami Zayn. Which he already beat Samoa Joe, so I'm guessing Sami Zayn's going to beat him. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows how they're going to do that? I think it's going to be a lot easier to bring the Bullet Club to the main roster and introduce all of them and just throw them in there in like in the main event surrounding Triple H. Honestly, that's how I do it. Triple H is, thanks to him and, others surrounding NXT, or in NXT, have brought in tremendous talents over the course of the last few years, You got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Balor, Hideo Itami, the list goes on and on. Apollo Crews. And this is like the biggest acquisition since they brought Guerrero, Benoit, Perry Saturn, and who else? Malenko. They brought those 4 guys over from WCW, which was, holy crap, is that 15 years ago? Was that before that? Was it before 2000? Oh wait, it's 2016 now. Oh well, whatever. Happy 2016. So yeah, this is really exciting. The other thing that fans are concerned with are they going to, because WWE loves to put their stamp on everything, make it their own, so that they can market stuff. Well, it looks like they already have the rights to the Balor Club, and and that's fine. It's the same as the Bullet Club, only different. I've seen a few. I've seen a few funny things, them calling, it's Festus 2.0 is Gallows. They're going to change Luke Gallows to something, because there's already Luke Harper. Well, why? Okay, well, they're in this. There, you got this big thing of no first names, just a last name. Why not just call him Gallows? Everyone's familiar with the name. Keep Gallows on him. And they're doing it down in NXT too with tag teams. The tag champs right now was that Dawson. No, Dash and Dawson. No first names, just Dash and Dawson. So why not do that with, Gallows and Anderson? That's fine. I'm fine with that. They keep their name, and it's simple. They can market the hell out of that. Styles. I don't see them changing his name. I heard something that he's got the rights to his name, but obviously, it'd be similar to what, they did with CM Punk, Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura, yeah, they probably changed that. Although Nakamura's, I don't know, they changed Kenta to Hideo Itami, so who knows? I don't know. I don't even want to try to think what they're going to change Nakamura to. But as far as the rest of the guys in the Bullet Club, I don't see them changing a lot there, honestly. But it's exciting, it really is. And like I said before, you got so many guys that are injured. They had to make a big power play and do something, for lack of better words, desperate, because this is the road to WrestleMania. It's right around the corner, a few months away. And end of March, early April is WrestleMania. So you got, at the end of, let's look here. Go to, and the hints they're dropping on here is hilarious. The latest article, I'll go to the date in a minute. Rumors indicate that New Japan stars are headed to WWE. If Shinsuke Nakamura and the Bullet Club are indeed making their way to WWE headquarters, they'll join these 10 superstars as the biggest signings in history. And then there's this list of, Sting, Kurt Angle, Jericho, and I didn't look at the whole list. Then also a link to that is the interview with Finn Balor, talking about his relationship with the guys. If you haven't read that, go read it. It's cool. It's like, this is like right around the corner. It's got to be. What's I looking up? Oh, yeah. Royal Rumble. No, wait. Oh, yeah. Royal Rumble is 2 weeks away. You got the countdown clock on the Royal Rumble page. So, and I think Royal Rumble is also going to set up a lot of new rivalries for WrestleMania. You're going to see a lot of shit happen. I think a lot of people, before all this stuff with New Japan, thought that you're going to see Bray Wyatt, and anything can still happen. It's all guessing. There's no predetermined guy that the fans know absolutely is going to win the Royal Rumble. Sometimes there's a guy that they can pinpoint, but I'd say the Wyatt family had a damn good chance because there's 4 guys, 3 guys helping out Bray Wyatt. Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho just announced his entrance in the Royal Rumble. Like on the poster here, it's Show, Reigns as champ, Jericho, and Bray. So obviously these are guys that you want to watch. There was a brief showdown before they clobbered Big Show between Strowman and Big Show, which two monsters that looks cool. I like it. Hell, make it happen. That could be Mania right there. A Mania match. But I don't want to jump too far ahead. But with all these new guys coming in, there certainly are a lot of options. Everybody's assuming that the Royal Rumble is going to hold a lot of new surprises and something big is going to happen. The other option, of course, is, I'd say there's two other options. Have them invade NXT and stick with Balor until after WrestleMania. And then somewhere soon after WrestleMania, like, the night after WrestleMania, the big, there's always some kind of surprises, have them show up then, Or oh gosh, I don't know. So yeah, I think NXT is an option, but with the lack of superstars and all the injured ones they have on the main roster, these guys are good enough for the main roster. They are going to flip the WWE on their head. The face of WWE, the face of the WWE is going to change very soon, and I can't wait. I'm really excited about this. Styles deserves this. The Bullet Club deserves this. Nakamura. So much charisma. If you guys aren't familiar with this, most WWE fans are at least familiar with AJ Styles and how good he was in TNA. Well, he's even better now, since he's been in Japan for, a few years now? A couple years? Something like that. Go watch some highlight videos. Hell, right before I started recording this, I just saw a video of, it was right before Steen came to the WWE, Kevin Owens. He had a match at a House of Hardcore 5, I think it was, with AJ Styles. Oh my God, incredible. So, bringing in these guys, there's so many options for, main event matches, rivalries, you name it. Gallows and Anderson could, completely blow up the tag division. Would love to see them against two guys, say Harper and Rowan, the Dudleys, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. The New Day. Hell, the New Day. The Usos. Lots of options. Lots and lots of options. Hell, you could even make, after a while, you could make Styles and Balor a tag team. Holy crap. But I think those guys are geared more towards, singles matches. So yeah, and they're going to be backing up Balor. But Styles is such a top guy. It's going to be interesting if there's going to be some kind of like conflict between Balor and Styles. Like, who's the top dog? Well, if it's the Balor Club, then Balor's the top dog in the group. But they're all so significant. So, they all have egos. I can't wait. It's exciting. If you're not familiar with the New Japan style or whatever, just YouTube it. There's highlights, stuff. You can find it if you want to find it. Wrestle Kingdom 10 was great. Another significant thing that happened at them was Gallows and Anderson dropped their IWGP Tag Team Championship. I had it here in my notes somewhere. I was watching it and I wrote it down and whatever. Great match though. So yeah, I've rambled on enough about this. I'm excited about it. So yeah, that's how I would book it. There are different options, obviously, but that's how I would. If they're talking about Triple H winning, bring them in as, I wouldn't call them the authority, under the authority anymore. It's the Balor Club is backing up Triple H, and they're like his guys, kind of like when McMahon brought in the NWO. Okay? And I know I'm not the only person that's thought of that. But it's got that feel. If Triple H is going to get revenge on Roman Reigns, and it's coming. It is. Why not? Have him bring in the ultimate backup of the Balor Club, and he can get his championship. And then they can have a couple-month thing where he's champ, and then he loses it at WrestleMania to Reigns. That might piss off a lot of people. Say, "Oh, you just buried the Balor Club." No, because these guys are they're special. They're gonna have good careers in the WWE. It's just gonna be interesting how they do it. And I'm not even going to go through the list of all the different rivalries that could go on down the road. As soon as Rollins, Cena, Cesaro get healthy, oh my God, instead about 5 different WrestleMania matches pop in my head for next year, it's going to be unbelievable. The casual wrestling fan is not going to know what to think. Who are these new guys? You got some catching up to do. So that's my thoughts on this. Lots of options, lots of stuff happening. Very excited about this. How would you book it? And I don't mean completely. I'm just saying, how would you bring in the Balor Club, or the Bullet Club, whatever? How would you bring in these new guys with Balor? Would you bring them in the Royal Rumble, or would you wait till after WrestleMania? To bring them in after WrestleMania almost has that Shield breakup feel to it, doesn't it? Almost. So yeah, put it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. How would you bring these guys in? Would you put them in NXT first? Have them, completely decimate NXT, run wild for a few months, then bring them in after WrestleMania, or now, or what would you do? So I gave you my thoughts, and I'll probably think of 20 more after I get done recording this, but whatever. That's another video for another time. We'll see what happens over the course of the next few weeks. Maybe it'll show up on Raw. Who knows? Alright, thanks for watching.